The following is an ESG on-location video.
Welcome to Washington, D.C., and more specifically to National Harbor for the Nutanix.next conference. This is a very interesting company, and I'm going to coin a phrase here. We're going to talk about acronym metamorphosis, because after all, this was the SDS company that became the HCI company. And not just HCI, but HCI very often associated with VDI. And now they're the EC company, as in Enterprise Cloud. More of that later, but now to find out what really went on here and get some of the key takeaways, let's turn it over to my colleagues.
One of my biggest impressions from this event was the extending the openness of the enterprise cloud platform from Nutanix. They used a term called optionality, which I really like here. They're increasing the options for both on-prem, off-prem, and increasingly multi and hybrid cloud environments. For on-prem, they announced the support now on HPE servers and recently UCS, Cisco UCS servers. They also have the IBM PowerPC, which is actually another great on-prem platform. And for extension to the cloud, the biggest news, in my opinion, from the show was the partnership with Google. Working with Google and the GCP as a platform to extend the value of the enterprise cloud, and also moving into the analytics, machine analytics, and TensorFlow over time holds great potential. The optionality of the ecosystem continues to grow. As you can see, a growing number of partners here, and particularly note the networking partners. There's a great chance for innovation here. Hyperconverged and enterprise cloud making the networking layer simpler, and there's great emerging startups, companies like Plexi and Aviatrix as are examples here.
One of the big themes here at Nutanix.next this week is Elevate. And that's an interesting thought. As I blogged about before the conference, Nutanix needed to elevate up the IT stack in order to deliver greater value and to deliver on its enterprise cloud promise. Because it's not really about managing LUNs and volumes and disks and worldwide names and VMs. It's about the application. And that's what they announced this week with Calm. Calm gives them application level management of the IT environment. And it starts allowing IT managers to manage what's really important: how, where, when, and why applications run. Whether that's at the edge for an IoT initiative, or at the core for your business applications, or in the cloud for maybe DR, or maybe just those applications that are suited to the cloud that you don't have to worry about the regulatory compliance or data sovereignty issues. So Nutanix has really elevated its game this week at .next.
My thanks to Brian and Terry. Now, I started this off by talking about acronym metamorphosis, whatever that might be. Clearly, a lot of this conference was about Nutanix broadening itself out from HCI, realizing that there's a lot more to the world than just that. Obviously, you've got the Z services, you've got the Calm that you've just heard about. And maybe with this move, Nutanix will be fast enough to outrun the massive chasing vendor HCI pack. While many vendors struggle to change their moniker or their perception, some have managed to do it when the underlying thing they offer remains the same. 3PAR sprung to my mind. It was always really the same stuff, but at one point it was just good storage, then it was thin storage, then it was green storage, and finally it was cloud storage. And I think Nutanix might be doing some of the same. It's not to say that they're not adding anything, but they're realizing that they need to be more than HCI. The market knows that too. The USP, the unique selling point of Nutanix, is not realizing that the market needs more than that, because other people have realized that too. Their unique selling proposition is the way they execute on that, and that's why there's been so much emphasis this week, and generally from Nutanix, on one OS and on one click. Putting all that aside, what Nutanix is really doing is grafting new capabilities, new growth, if you like, on top of its existing root system, its existing DNA. And when it does that, it's not really about metamorphosis, it's about having reason to be positive, because that's one way you can succeed in this business.